Okay, this is a lesson on curves, writing G-code using the IJ method. So here is my handy website called NCViewer, ncviewer.com, and the blue is the Z-axis, the red is the X-axis, and the green is the Y-axis. Okay, we're going to start our code the way we start all of our codes. G01, turn caps lock on, then you don't have to worry about everything should be in capitals. G01, Z.5. You need to go someplace. So we're going to, in this case, we're just going to go right here, which it should be noted that these are 1/8 of an inch segments. On the worksheet we have, they're 1/4 inch. So every 2 here equals 1 on the worksheet. So I want to go here, which is 1/4 of an inch. X 0.25, Y 0.25. Enter. You technically don't have to have the G01 at this time, but I like to see it in there. It makes it easier to troubleshoot the code. G01, Z -0.1. Okay, and we will plot that. So it lifts up here, goes to X 0.25, Y 0.25, and then goes down below the surface. Okay, so that's cutting. Anytime there's a negative Z -0.1, that means it's cutting into the material. All right, now I want to make an arc. And this time my arc is going to end right here. And that location is X1, Y 0.25. Remember, these are 1/8 of an inch, so 2 squares equals 1/4. 4 squares equals 1/2. But we're going to end right here. X1, Y 0.25. And our arc is going to go like this. Okay. That is the clockwise direction, G02. As I said, you type in the endpoint, X1, Y 0.25. And now on our cheat sheet, it says, how far over is the center? In which direction? And it is to the right. So the cheat sheet says it is a positive I, and that is 1, 2, 3. So that's 3/8 of an inch is the center, because my arc is going to go like this. 3/8 of an inch equals 0.375. And my J number is 0. If you end up on the grid, most likely you will have either your I or your J will be 0. But let's do another one, maybe a little simpler, because we have a full 1 inch here. So I'm going to go from here to here. Our center will be here, clockwise, G02. The end point of my arc will be X 1 inch 2 inch. It's right here, x2, y 0.25. x2, y 0.25. And if you think about the center, that's halfway between the start and the end. And that this distance is 1 inch from here to here. Our center is going to be 1/2 of an inch from the start. It's kind of like setting a compass, where if I want to make a 1 inch arc or a 1 inch circle, I set the compass to 1/2 of an inch. So in this case, it's in the x direction, which is I, 0.5. J will be 0 again. Let me do an arc in the vertical direction. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. We'll come up here to 1 inch. So this location right here is 1 inch from the start. And from 0, 0, it is x2, y 1.25. And this time we'll make the arc go in the counterclock direction. G03 for counterclockwise. We already established the endpoint as x2, y 1.25. The center of the arc, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares. So the center of the arc is going to be 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4/8 is 1/2 of an inch. And since we're ending here, that is a 1 inch high arc, which means it's a 1/2 inch radius. It's in the positive y direction, which equals j. So I is 0, j is the 1/2 of an inch. Plot. Let me make a little arc down to here. Pause this at any time and try to predict what the code will be from here to here. Well, that is counterclockwise. G03. The endpoint is right here, and that is x2, y 0.75. These are 1/8 of an inch, so I have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. Y 0.75. It is down. The center is right here in this arc, so it is down. So that is a negative j, or a j negative. So I 0, j negative. That distance is 2/8, or 1/4 of an inch, negative 0.25.